We're live here at NAB 2015. This is Nigel with Connect Your Meeting, and we're talking to the Vice President of Ustream, Mr. David Gibbons. Awesome to meet you, David.
Nigel, pleasure.
Wonderful products you have here. If you would like to talk about a line, go for it.
Thanks, I'd be glad to. So we got a few products to show you today. This is Ustream Align, which is a product we created specifically for people doing secure communications, and it allows you to reach your workforce and ensure that only the right people have access to confidential streams that you're showing to people internally, like CEO town halls or training events about your products or discussions about your strategy, events of that nature. Ustream Align is all about security, so we're going to just take a quick look at the security settings. This is a page where you can determine who gets access to the stream, and that ends up being the critical thing for people who are trying to do a secure internal broadcast of some kind. And basically, your choices are you can secure it with email verification. That means that each viewer has to have access to an email address, and you can control whether that's a company email or another type of email. You can use a single sign-on system, and that means a corporate system for determining who gets access to network resources. A lot of systems exist that do that allow you to determine who can get access to file shares, and Ustream Align can plug into that infrastructure so you can easily make it available for people to watch broadcasts inside your company. Or you can use password protection if you just want a really simple way to ensure that the stream is secured internally. In this case, we're using the email verification approach, and that means that when visitors come to the page, they'll be asked to submit their email address, and you can determine that only people with a matching email address, for example, at ustream.tv, only people who work at that company are able to get access to the stream. And so that provides a really easy way for even non-IT oriented people to ensure that their streams are secure. And assuming someone gets access to the video and clicks through, then they'll get to this page, which is a very simple internal content portal that allows you to present your live content or your recorded content, your previous events, in a really easy way for people to navigate. So what we're looking at here is a feed of a live event that's being streamed. You'll see below the feed there's an archive of content from previous training events. We actually used our own product here to train our own sales team on exactly how you can sell the product, and people can catch up on that as a training resource later. And if they're watching it live, they can ask questions here. They can kind of plug in questions. Anybody in the global audience is able to ask questions that the moderators can see. Even the person presenting can see those questions and answer the questions in the stream, or you can type in questions to answer them later. And then after the event, it's usually pretty important for people to understand who watched the event, who actually got access to it. So I'm going to go back to my security settings and take a look at the viewer list, and you'll see here a list of all the people who got access to this event. So basically, you get either a notification of who was watching live or who came to watch the event after the fact when they watched the recorded content, and you can even see, in a lot of cases, the specific time and date that they managed to get access. So you can really track down to individual employees who got access to the stream and ensure that there's no inappropriate access going on. So that's Ustream Align. Using it is very straightforward. It's actually designed to do HD quality pictures to a global audience, and if you're wondering about how much bandwidth is required to do that, you can ingest an HD stream with 2 or 3 megabits of upload bandwidth, and then your viewers can watch at either that rate if they have access to that rate, or they can watch versions that are transcoded down to a lower bandwidth so that you can give them a high quality viewing experience even if they're in a more bandwidth constrained area. So this is Ustream Demand. Ustream Demand is designed for people doing marketing who want to use video to drive additional leads or additional sales for their company. Video is, of course, a very powerful means to market your company and your products, and using video to capture interest from people, and in particular to capture the details of the people who are interested in watching your corporate videos, can be a very powerful way to grow your sales pipeline. And what I mean by that is you can put the content either live or recorded behind a contact form and ask the viewers to give you any information from their name and email address all the way through to their full address, telephone number, company information before they get access to the stream. And uniquely with Ustream Demand, you can do that for both live and for recorded content. Now, a lot of people are used to doing that, say, with a webinar tool for live content, but it's much more difficult to then reuse that content as part of your on-demand offering when you want to capture leads later. And Ustream Demand solves that problem by making it really simple to do it for both. So let's take a look at how it does that. Basically, you get to configure this registration gate. And the registration gate allows you to set up either a live event by giving it a specific time in the future where you're going to do that live event, or set up some on-demand content by entering a description of what it is people will get to see after they give their details. Then you can design the actual contact form itself right in our platform here, and that means you get to determine what kind of information you're asking them for, whether you're going to ask them for things like company size or job title. You can add lots of extra fields if you really want to capture a lot of information, or if you want to keep it to be a quick and easy form, you can ask for just a few pieces of information, or even make it optional for viewers to skip that registration step. And then you can provide a thank you screen that welcomes them to the content and lets them start watching either the live event or the on-demand event. And this is how it looks from the viewer side. Switch back. So this is a fully branded page. You get to control exactly how this page looks, or you can take just this player section along with the video gallery and embed that in your own web page. So you have a very flexible tool that lets you put this video player in lots of places. Wherever you put the video player, that's where people will get to see the contact form, which I'll bring up in just a second, and that's where they're asked to provide their details before they get to watch the content. Let me bring up that form so you can see how it looks. Would you mind? So this is how it would look from a customer's perspective, someone who's coming to your site to look at your content. They'll see this contact form, they'll fill out the details, they'll hit the join button, and then they'll end up being presented with exactly that same display that I showed you earlier, where they'll see the live content streaming, or they can look at the on-demand content from your previous broadcasts or anything that you've uploaded and made available from there. And then, very much as you'd expect, when you are going back to your management interface and looking at how your promotional efforts for your video is going, you get to see a list here of everybody who registered, whether they were registering for some live video or for some recorded video, the date that you captured them on, and of course the details that you captured, which are really easy to then export to your marketing automation system or your customer relationship management system. So that gives you a really easy way to bring in new leads for your company and grow your company's sales using video as a super engaging medium to tell your story. All right, well, I think that's the overview of the two new products from me. The only other thing I'd add is that Ustream, of course, still has our Ustream Pro Broadcasting platform, and that's the platform that allows you to share any type of live or recorded content at great scale with a global audience. And we also sell that platform, as well as these two new platforms I've showed you. Thank you for checking out what we have to offer at NAB 2015, and thank you for inviting us on, Nigel.
Wow, wonderful products. I mean, we've used this software in the past, flawless. And it saves a lot of time on pre-production. Coordinating with the IT guys, getting the bandwidth that we need. Not a lot of setting up. The admin interface is very easy to use. What's some of the requirements when it comes to bandwidth that you guys require for us to get the content out? Anything specific?
Yeah, you know, for most people, it's really easy to meet those needs. So if you'd really like to do an HD stream, then it is important to be able to uplink about 2 to 3 megabits per second in a fairly reliable fashion. Now, it's not essential to do HD. Our platform will handle everything from a very low bandwidth stream. If bandwidth is actually a concern, you can actually scale up at any resolution that you're interested in streaming at. And we have customers who regularly make great looking broadcasts that are only 360p, not even 480 content. But we support all of those resolutions, and our platform will automatically generate lower resolution versions so that if some of your viewers are on, say, mobile devices with lower bandwidth connections or in areas where they don't have as good bandwidth, they'll also get to see a great buffer-free stream, regardless of where they're watching from.
Wow, very, very impressed with your products. Easy to use. You guys do a lot of training, good tech support. What else we're going to get? Thank you very much, Mr. David Gibbons. And thank you very much from Ustream here. We're at NAB Live. We're at Connection Meeting. Thank you, guys.